Some books teach you skills. Some books change your life. But The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. It teaches you how to live as an artist. Not just to draw, write, or compose, but to see the world differently. To feel that every single moment can be a creative act. Rick Rubin doesn't give you a technical manual on art. He offers a way of life. He says, creativity isn't just something we do, it's a way of being. For him, creativity isn't about talent or mastery. It's a state of presence that connects us to the universe, to nature, to the moment we're in, and to a more honest version of ourselves. In this video, we'll dive deep into the core ideas from the book, exploring the depths of creativity through the eyes of one of the world's most inspiring creators. Creativity as a way of being. Rick Rubin says, creativity isn't a skill you learn. It's not something you switch on when you pick up a pen or an instrument. He sees it as a way of living, more accurately, a way of being. And that changes everything. We've been taught to treat creativity like a tool. You pull it out when you need to produce something, a song, a painting, a solution. But Rubin invites us to see creativity as an inner state that shapes how we see the world. What does that mean? It means when you walk down the street and notice the sunlight on someone's face, or when a certain note in the rain stirs something in you. That moment is a creative act. When you pause, when you observe, when you're aware of yourself and your surroundings, you are already in a creative state. Rick believes we aren't born to produce creativity. We are born as creative beings. But over time, through pressure, expectations, and judgment, we forget. He reminds us that you don't need to be successful or brilliant or well-known to be creative. You just need to be present, honest, open. When you reach that state, creativity flows naturally, not as a task, but as a way of existing. Ask yourself, am I living my life like a piece of art? Do I give myself space to wonder, to notice, to feel? Or am I always busy producing, fearing, comparing? Being an artist isn't about making art. It's about living in a way that your life becomes the art. Surrender and openness. One of the keys to real creativity, according to Rick Rubin, is this. Let go. Let go of control. Let go of fear. Let go of needing to manage everything. Creativity isn't a machine you switch on to get results. It's like air, it's always around us. But we're not always open enough to receive it. Imagine this. A musician sits in the studio, struggling to write a song. His mind is blocked. He pushes himself, I need something good now, it's been 2 hours and I've got nothing. The result? Tension, resistance, stuck ideas. Rick Rubin says, don't do that. Instead, be still. Listen. Let go. The goal isn't to create an idea. The goal is to be ready when the idea chooses to appear. He compares the artist to an antenna. We don't generate the signal. We just need to be tuned in to receive it. The key takeaway: the more you reduce resistance, the more you open your heart and mind, the more creativity can reach you. Surrender doesn't mean laziness. It doesn't mean waiting for inspiration to fall from the sky. It means working, but without internal violence. Being present, empty of expectations, and deeply connected to the moment. Try this. Go for a walk with no goal for 30 minutes. Let your ears pick up sounds. Let your eyes wander freely. When you sit to write or draw, don't start with an idea. Start with a feeling, a color, a passing word. And when you feel stuck, instead of forcing it, ask, am I really open to creativity moving through me? Or am I blocking the way? We're not the source of creativity. We're the receivers. Letting go of self-judgment. If creativity is a delicate creature, then self-judgment is the noise that suffocates it. Rick Rubin believes the biggest barrier to creativity isn't lack of skill. It's the harshness we direct at ourselves. The voice that says, I'm not talented enough. People won't like this. This idea is silly. If it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. That voice pretends to help us improve, but it actually stops us from even starting. Rick suggests this. Separate creation from evaluation. As a creative person, you have two phases. 1. Creation requires freedom, play, spontaneity. 2. Editing comes later, after you've made something real. Most people get trapped by judging themselves while they're trying to create. You write the first sentence and delete it immediately because it's not good enough. Then you stop. Feel like a failure. The process collapses. Rick says, let go of judgment, at least for now. Follow the idea, even if it's weird or simple. Creativity isn't a race to perfection. It's a space for expression. Here's something deep. That inner critic isn't always your voice. It's an echo of a teacher who told you you're not talented, of parents always chasing perfection, of a society that ties creativity to money and success. Rick invites you to ask, where is this voice coming from? And is it really helping me? Try this. When you start creating, writing, drawing, composing, recording, set a rule. Don't delete or edit anything for 1 hour. Even if what you're doing makes no sense. Even if you don't like it. Give yourself the freedom to just explore, without judgment. The voice that says, this is not good enough, is not the voice of the artist. It's the voice of fear. Authenticity, creating from the true self. According to Rick Rubin, the most powerful and moving art comes from one place, truth. Not just moral truth, but inner truth. Creating from who you really are. Not a copy of someone else. Not a trend. Not a performance for an audience. Creativity is not a show, it's a reveal. Rick describes the creative process as the soul being laid bare. When you write, paint, sing, or design, you're sharing a piece of your inner world. It's fragile, vulnerable, but it's also the only thing that truly reaches people. People might admire the beauty of your work, but what stays with them is its honesty, not its polish. Comparison kills authenticity. When you start thinking, what made that artist successful? Let me copy this style. It gets attention. I should write like that person. That's when you abandon your true voice. And that's the start of creative and emotional burnout. Rick sees authenticity not as a luxury, but as a necessity. If you're not being real, you won't enjoy the process. You won't last. And you won't truly connect with others. Exercise for realness. Before starting any project, ask yourself, why am I doing this? What's hurting me that I want to express? If no one would ever see this, how would I create it? The more honest your answers, the closer you are to your true voice. And the more powerful your art becomes. The audience doesn't need you to be perfect. They need you to be real.